Characteristics that mark black culture as a generalization in the same way Paul's talking about Cretans on Crete.
How long do you think he was waiting to call black people Cretans?
They are evil, murderous, violent, bestial people.
Hi lovelies, you're welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Stranad. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You and I thought to share, where this pan-colored Christian man decided to say the choir parts out loud about people that looks like me, describing the culture as so many things that he has to spill here. Lovelies, I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video, and please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes.
Let's say that somebody was coming into our church and they're black.
I'm not a pastor, but I feel like that would be a preferable scenario.
Would they be eligible for membership in our church?
Please say yes.
Yes, of course they would. They'd be eligible for membership in our church.
Oh, thank God. I think the video's over now.
But would they be permitted to participate in, embody, and practice what I would call black culture generally in our church?
Oh, damn.
The answer is absolutely not.
I'm guessing you're going to elaborate.
Why? Because the characteristics that mark black culture as a generalization in the same way Paul's talking about Cretans on Crete.
How long do you think he was waiting to call black people Cretans?
They are evil, murderous, violent, bestial people.
Bro, you have a dead rodent on your face.
They steal, they kill, they destroy. They are sinful to the core.
Are we listening to this?
They have besetting sins that are like fatherlessness, sexual immorality. They molest children at a high rate.
We're gonna talk about black people molesting children at a high rate. You're a Christian pastor.
All of any criminal statistic that you could look at, almost pretty much without exception, they excel at them.
This video goes on for a while, but I'm going to stop there. I just need you to see what kind of things are coming up in this country. That guy that you just saw is this guy, Pastor Brian Sauve. He is the pastor of Refuge Church in Ogden, Utah. And he's a compatriot of this man, Doug Wilson, a pastor in Moscow, Idaho. I say pastor, but it's like a cult situation, you know? And you probably recognize Doug Wilson. You remember Doug Wilson, the pastor that Pete Hegseth platformed a few months ago, who was saying that women shouldn't be able to vote? This is what Christian nationalism is. This is what Christian nationalism wants. These are Christian nationalists. These guys are only going to get louder. They used to be relegated to like little corners of the internet, but they are now getting platformed by the Secretary of War. Like,
implore you to go back and watch that video. Since everybody loves context, go back and watch the video. I'm encouraging you to go back and watch that entire video and then come back. Don't worry, I'll wait. Oh, you're back. Hi. I'm gonna say this one more time. Christianity is a Ponzi scheme. And one of the ways I know that Ponzi scheme is the biggest Ponzi scheme in the history of time is this. Black Christians and white Christians worship two different Jesuses, or Jesus-I. They worship two different ones. And they have since the goddamn beginning. Since black folks was brought over here in boats, there have been two different Jesuses. The black Jesus is a man of peace. He's the loaves and fishes. He is the Beatitudes. He is the blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. He is the healing of the lepers. He is the sheltering those who are in need. He is the flipping over of the coin table in the temple. He is that Jesus. The other thing that Jesus is, docile. Not very confrontational. White Jesus, on the other hand, is this one. Warrior Jesus. Looks like Kenny Loggins on steroids. He's the pure alpha ubermensch. That's their Jesus. Swinging a sword, killing his enemies. In the book of Revelations, this is the Jesus supposed to come back for the Jews. That ain't me saying anything wrong. That's in the book. That's in the book. This Jesus believes in supply side economics. Feed the poor. They better get up there and pull themselves up by their sandal straps. Heal the sick. I'm not healing you. That's a pre-existing condition. This Jesus is the one that screamed at Gorbachev to tear down that wall. This is the Jesus they think is coming back. This one. Which is completely opposite of the Jesus that black folks were taught and we were raised up with. Because that Jesus is docile. This Jesus is a warrior. He puts on the armor of Christ and all that warrior talk. This is the Jesus they were looking for. This one right here. The meek better bless themselves because we're taking them out. This Jesus would forgive the funny mustache man. Because, in the last moments, he believed in warrior Jesus. This Jesus is about anger, vengeance, violence, and retribution, which is all a part of the Ponzi scheme that is religion. And don't get me wrong, a lot of people are going to say, well, what about Islam and Judaism, which are the other two branches of the Abrahamic religions? Same thing, fam. Same thing. Same thing. To some Muslims, Allah is a comfort. He is a guide. He speaks to them. He tells them the right way to do things. And in return, they give him a submission to the will. To others, he is vengeance, violence, and retribution. The same guy, the Jews go through that same shit. Same shit. It's all a Ponzi scheme. Because if you can bisect your God, is he really a God or is he a figment of your fucking imagination? In order for me to truly get into the heart of religious people, I worship the Kryptonian god of the sun, Ra, R-A-O, Ra, right? And Ra sits in the sky. Every morning I can go out and see him. When it's cloudy, Ra is still there. When it's sunny and hot, Ra is there. Now, as a practicing Raoist, all I gotta do is read the book of Ra and just live it. But you know what I try to do? I try to live more like the Christ that black folks have always worshiped. Even if I don't really believe in any of it, I still try to live my life by the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But this man literally sat here and told us all with his whole chest and whatever the fuck he has going on with his facial hair that black folks cannot practice black culture because black culture is murderous, it's violent, it's this, it's that. You have got to be fucking kidding me. You cannot be serious. All you Warrior Jesus fans, the Triple K burns a cross to your God. The Triple K calls itself a Christian organization. Do you think they're talking about black Christians? No. When you cherry pick out of that goddamn book, you can make anything sound rational. This man literally said this shit in this country, in America. Black people can join this church, but they can't practice black culture. What the fuck is that? Black culture is murderous? Are you fucking for real right now? Violent? Are you fucking kidding me? So that was Warrior Jesus fans at January 6th, right? It was Warrior Jesus fans that burned down Rosewood. It was Warrior Jesus fans that burnt down Black Wall Street. It was Warrior Jesus people that put black folks in trees, hence the reason Billie Holiday's song Strange Fruit. That was Warrior Jesus. White Warrior Jesus, the one that looks like Kenny Loggins on HGH. That's your Jesus? But you want me to take your fucking religion seriously? No. And for all of you who are getting ready to distance yourself and say that's not my Jesus, bring your ass back here. Don't move. Because had y'all been straight about this shit since day one, we wouldn't be having shit like this. I put the onus for the way Christians are viewed in America on Christians. Y'all think y'all are persecuted for your faith? No. We are you are not liked, not even persecuted. You are not liked because y'all cannot keep that shit to your life. You have to put it in everybody else's life. Hence the reason Warrior Jesus appeals to you. And for you to try to distance yourself from that shit, you know people like this. Have you called them out? Nope. I literally just got off of a fucking Zoom meeting with the head, heads of Ghost Law Productions Radio. One of which is a pastor. And I talked to her about this. Y'all think Charlie Kirk is sitting in the bosom of Warrior Jesus. That helps you ignore all the shit that he said. So mind you, he supposedly was a good Christian who thought black women had lower brain capacity and could not understand things like white women. That's some Warrior Jesus shit. But not my Christianity? Fuck you. It absolutely is. In for a penny, in for a goddamn pound. You want the docile, peaceful Jesus over here. So that Warrior Jesus can walk around saying all this bullshit and you can feel good because you can go, well, that's not my God. It's not my Jesus. Instead of looking that person in the face and say, what happened to the Prince of Peace? What happened to him? The King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. What happened to the Prince of Peace? What happened? Oh, that's right. You wanted the Christianity that was practiced by the funny mustache man and his crew. And then you stand up in front of the church and call them blasphemers. Are you afraid to do that? This goes for any person who is really strong in their religious faith. If you are not calling out the bad characters within those faiths, don't talk to me about you being different. Because as an atheist, a person who sits on the outside of all of this, a Rowist, if you will, I don't see the goddamn difference. I don't. And it is not my job to find the differences between what faith you follow and what faith they follow. It's your job to call them out for not following the faith correctly. The fuck out of here.
Evangelical Christianity has always been rooted in racism and always been rooted in white supremacy.
Somebody was coming into our church and they're black, and would they be eligible for membership in our church? Yes, of course they would. They'd be eligible for membership in our church. But would they be permitted to participate in, embody, and practice what I would call black culture generally in our church? The answer is absolutely not.
With all of the evangelicals using Charlie Kirk as a martyr,
call Charlie Kirk a modern American martyr for the faith,
is due to the white supremacist ideas that he upheld.
Why? Because the characteristics that mark black culture as a generalization in evil, murderous, violent, bestial people. They steal, they kill, they destroy. They are sinful to the core. They have besetting sins that are like fatherlessness, sexual immorality. They molest children at a high rate. All of any criminal statistic that you could look at almost pretty much without.
When I think white culture, I think genocidal, colonial, racist. I think mass destruction of nations, culture, places, and things, theft of people's ideas, people's culture, people's things. I think the highest rates of child sexual assault are white men. Bestiality is white men. In family incest are white people. But the list can go on about how you're using statistics incorrectly and just lying and being very racist towards black people while welcoming black people into your white church for white people and want black people to be white. It is insane to me that you can be and say you are a Christian and a man of God and be a pastor. You're a pastor and you're coming online and you're spewing hatred, racism, and just straight up fallacies about black people, all while upholding mass shootings, violence, sexual assault, mass theft, destruction. The list goes on of what white culture has done to the world and what white people continuously do to the world. But you want to vilify black people on your platform because you are reaching out to the sentiment of white racist people on the right in this country. Because, like I said, white evangelical Christianity is a form of religious extremism. And that's what's at the forefront and the top of this country. America is a religious extremist country in which white people get to be extremists. And it's just okay. You get to come on and espouse this hate, this hateful message. I want to drive home, guys. This is a pastor. This is a pastor. This is a pastor. So a pastor coming on and not being very Christ-like is not any form of Christianity that's real. These people are in a cult. This is a cult. This is a cult. This is why the Proud Boys, the KKK, all these people come out of this version of Christianity because it's not Christianity.
Here's a horrific and unknown fact about slavery a lot of people don't know, especially in the black community. You see, during slavery, slaves were beaten and tortured if they worshiped or believed in anything other than Christianity. That was part of the indoctrination process. And even in this book, it's called How to Make a Negro Christian. I'm going to show you a couple passages from that. I'm not making this stuff up. This is the book. And I'm going to page 12, and it's talking about a masterpiece called Sankofa. And it says, and witnessed the Catholic priests and cronies whipping a naked, tied up, and helpless Shola, forcing her to repeat after the father, paraphrasing. She was forced to repeat things like, get away, devil. I will never again associate myself with those who worship an African god. I will never again pray to a heathen god, an African god. Never, never, never. Do y'all research on this man, Dr. Charles Colcock Jones, along with other races who wrote books such as this one here. He also wrote The Religious Instruction of the Negroes in the United States. And this right here still applies today to black folks. Learn Afro-hagiophobia, if I'm saying that correct, a pathological fear and irrational intimidation of African spiritual and esoteric science, ancestral veneration, and its ritual and cultural expressions. I'll be trying to tell y'all, man, read y'all black history. You will literally see that Christianity came through Africa through colonialism and indoctrination during slavery. That's it. And it only took a couple generations for them to convince people if anybody believes in anything outside of this, it's the devil. Right now, you could be talking about this with somebody, oh, that's the devil. Oh, no, you can't say it's ancestors. What's that? Astrology, what's that? Oh, no, that's evil. Where do y'all think that came from? The ideology of everything your ancestors believing in being evil came from your oppressor.
How you call yourself a Christian, but hate someone because of the color of their skin? You clearly don't study the Bible you claim to believe in. I could have sworn Christ said, love thy neighbor as thyself, right? And of course, I'm not talking about all Christians, right? Like, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, I believe in the gospel. So I'm not talking about all Christians. But if the shoe fits, wear it, Cinderella. The point is, Christ died for everyone, not just people who look like you. Period.
Racism is baked into American Christianity. As a Pentecostal pastor, I took kind of a bold step in coming out against Trumpism. I don't care what party you're affiliated with, but if you thought that Trump was some sort of Messiah figure, you stopped following Jesus a long time ago. When I came out against Trumpism, a bunch of people left my church. Around the same time, I came out against police shooting black men in the back. More people left my church. Let me tell you the funny part. For some reason, the black people in my church always knew I wasn't a racist. But somehow, a lot of the white people were surprised to find out that I didn't think that Trump was a messiah or that, murdering black people was bad. So when a lot of people left, some of them called people to try to tell them to leave with them. I found out today that some called a black couple and told them how offended they were that I came out against Trump. And they said, if you're for Trump, I don't care what you say.
Like, seriously, Lovelace, when I see so many people, especially most of these MAGA supporters, or what I call them MAGA Christianists or Christian nationalists, I tend to pause, because what kind of a Christian will make such commentary? Like, what kind of a Christian will make such commentary about a fellow human being? Like, seriously. And in 2025, some people still want to make me believe that Ray and sisters do resist. Do you know that Christianity is actually, better than Christian, like in churches? Like, how can you call yourself? Because I believe that this person calls himself a man of God, right? And he decided to with his few chest, like the way at which these people just say the quiet part out loud with their full chest, knowing deep inside of them that they will never be held accountable for their actions. Like, when you ask me, this is called a freedom of speech, right? And the worst part is coming from someone who actually called himself a Christian. You see why I don't really trust most of these people who call themselves Christian and trying to do what is in the Bible and try to debunk. This is the reason why so many people now are thinking so, like, they have double mind to actually go to churches. Because it happens that majority of these kind of people are filled in the church looking for ways and opportunity to use or to show their level of reyencies. You just sat down there, described yourself, because he practically described himself. He described himself. Let's just take for instance all of the pew that has been happening. Let's just take for instance the present happening. Let's take for instance CK. Who unalived CK? Is he a black person or is he a pan-colored person? Who are the majority of people that is involved in the school pupils? Is it a black person or is it? And the thing is that these guys will always look for ways to point fingers at people that looks like me. They always look for ways, even though they are their own problems. They are just looking for any way to make people that looks like me to come out to react, to point fingers and say that, oh, you are the good, even though they know that their own problems are within them. Most of the characteristics he mentioned there he just mentioned his own people. He just mentioned the characteristics because right about now, all like from the day of the election result and the integration and all that, I've not seen people that looks like me done nothing. They have just been there minding their business, focusing on their future. But people like this often look for a platform to use as an opportunity to say whatsoever they feel that is right. And the person there listening to him could not even caution him and tell him, oh, no, what are you saying? But they're just so afraid to listen. They just want to listen because they feel so satisfied to listen to garbage like this. And when you want to point out, you will see so many people that will come out and tell you, oh, it's a freedom of speech. Everybody has the right to say whatsoever. And how can you just say stuff like that and you expect not to have any form of backlash? That is freedom of speech, but you don't know if there is any form of freedom from consequences. That is exactly what people do not understand. How can you categorize some group of people and categorize all of them and based on what? Have you ever heard any personal experience? Have you ever heard like sometimes when I see people complain about some group of people like you have to say something when you have had a personal encounter with said demographic of people that you're out here bashing. And the thing is that these people still call themselves, oh, they are Christians. Oh my God, Christianity. This is not God's like. This is not what the Bible says. I've not seen where in the Bible where you were told to outcast a particular set of people. But no, they believe and they want to read and change the Bible and make it comfortable for them to become so racist. Like seriously. When I saw this game, I was like, this guy actually said the white part. And with his full chest. Because you know that at the end of the day, oh, black people, they will just, nothing is going to happen. But the thing is that they said every day for the thief, then one day for the owner. That is just it. In everything you do in life, there is always a consequences. And that is exactly what people do not understand. Anyway, love this, and just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We just here for educational and informative purposes, so please share this video. Subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that. Like and I will see you love this and I upload here for educational and informative purposes, so please share this video. Subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that. Like and I will see you love this and I upload the next one.